Hi, Facebook. So I just did the first after school recess, and I thought that it was streaming live on Facebook, and it wasn't. So we're gonna have two versions, one on Instagram and one on Facebook if you want to compare half hour to half hour. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna log on now, but I know I would like to have it on Facebook for you to see. So let's do another one. Let's do some after school recess. I'm feeling a little better already, but I hope that maybe I can share this with a few more of you. Today's theme is balance. So just take a moment to think through your week and notice anything about your mental, physical, or emotional state that is currently in balance, and just celebrate that for a moment. Maybe it's showing up to watch this video. And you can either set an intention to continue to celebrate that and nourish that and feed that, or maybe notice something that is out of balance that you would like to shift over the next half hour as we breathe and move and meditate. So to start, a breath exercise. This is going to balance out two channels of energy that travel up and through your spine and are associated with each side of your nose, one nostril and the other. If you already know how to do Nadi Shona, dive in. If not, you're going to use your thumb and your fourth finger, and then I like to use my second and third finger on my forehead as if to say, I'm going to focus on my breath now. Use your thumb to close off one nostril, and then breathe in through the other. And then block off the other nostril and exhale out the first nostril. Stay where you are, breathe in. Switch sides to exhale. You're going to go from side to side for 6 cycles. That's 3 breaths on each side. If you're just diving in, we're doing alternate nostril breathing. You can tell that the weather's changing with all the little sounds of phlegm. That's okay. It might start to feel good to leave your nostrils closed a little longer between breaths. When you've done your 6 cycles, just pause and feel what it's like to breathe through both sides. For me, it's like opening up my brain. There's like light comes into my skull. But it also opens up both sides, both lungs, and I'd like to take that a little farther now. So physically start to move through the space around your heart, opening the front side, opening the back side, cat-cow. Balance also comes into play with this movement by saying you're not going to push too hard, but you're also not going to go so easy on yourself that the movement doesn't nourish your cells. So a balance between uber softness and uber rigidity. And then pause and see if you can balance out the front side of the spine and the back side of the spine as if to say there's space for my heart on both sides. And then find space on both sides. Bringing the arm up and over feels good. This is especially difficult to keep soft, so make it less about the external feeling of stretch and more about the internal finding of space beside the heart. One more breath on each side. The oxygen feels good, reaching into the whole rib cage. All right, then finding each of those in sequence, opening the back, opening the side, opening the front, and then the side. If you want to make that more fluid, enjoy some dance-like movement. And go the other way. Slow isolation is also great. All right. And then sit and let that sink. So that makes you four-sided in the chest area, the upper back area, the lung area. But let's check in with two more sides to make it so that you have a six-sided box protecting and making space for your heart and your lungs. Think of your collarbone, clavicle, and your shoulder blade or scapula moving parallel out away from the spine so the shoulders draw to the sides, opening you at the top half, broadening not just the front but also the back. So you've got a front, a back, a side, and then a top opening. And if you think of that top as having an openness, then the breath comes down into the space for your lungs and your heart. Now for the bottom, opening up the space between your sits bones. I'm coming off my cushion. You might do so too. And you're going to take one leg into your hands. You might just be here, rocking side to side. That's okay. You might come a little up, might come a little up. Just be somewhere balanced between feeling a stretch, feeling some activation, and feeling ease and softness. And you're opening up all of these muscles, glute muscles, on the side of your sits bone to make space at the bottom half of your torso. It's almost like a good massage. When that half of you is wide open, then let that go and take the other one. And go to wherever is going to make you feel balanced. Theme of the day. Balance, balance. Sometimes I like to kind of rock on to my sits bone, make it a little bit more of a massage. When you're even, take a seat there. You have a wide top, a wide bottom, and then 4 open spaces around your heart and lungs. In yoga, sometimes asana over-accentuate the idea of external hip rotation, so let's look a little bit at internal hip rotation to keep ourselves balanced. Feet wide, you're going to bring one knee close to the other foot, and then switch. Feeling a little stretch on the inside there. And then start to pick up the pace a little. Side to side, you can get a little spinal twist. You can get a little reach from the knee all the way to the hand. Knee to hand, rocking and rolling. And then you're going to do your fanciest, danciest version of this movement so that you end up on your hands and knees. If nothing like that happens, then just join us here. And we'll find those 4 sides around your heart and lung space one more time. Opening the back, opening the front. Don't get too worried about opening the sides, the wrists and the knees being in the perfect space, because you can start to be a little intuitive here and do anything extra that your body needs on a Friday afternoon. Maybe some extra wrist motions, some extra heel, ankle, hamstring motions. All right, anytime you want to keep going with whatever you're doing, you stay right there. We're going to come to relative stillness now and press into the hands, press into the feet, and think of something resting on your sacrum that you want to keep upright. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a cup of tea that you're going to have after class here. And then you're going to lift one leg up, keeping that balance at the sacrum as much as you can. Here we are, testing your balance. If you want to take it one step farther, you can lift the opposite arm. This is called Firebird. Love that. If you want to take it one step farther than that, you can tuck this toe under and come onto hand and toes. That's too hard for me today, but maybe you're super strong and super balanced. And then let that go. Child's pose if it feels good. Get set up for the other side. Meet us when you're ready. Balancing something on the sacrum. And reaching the hand and the heel really far away from each other without compromising the sense of balance of the sacrum. And then child's pose. Now we were just in a relatively static position, and in order to balance that, we're going to go from being static to being quite fluid. So come down onto your belly in a way that recognizes that there's lots of liquid inside of you, blood rushing, and maybe it'll feel good to let all that pool on the floor for a moment. Then press your feet into the floor. Press your tailbone down. That might activate your quads and hamstrings. Great, love that. Place your elbows underneath your shoulders, your hands on the floor, and start to think from the tailbone up to the crown through each vertebra until there's space between each bone. And that'll take some time. Low back first, mid back, upper back, neck. And then in this Sphinx pose, return to the cue about your collarbone and shoulder blade reaching out wide away from the spine. Looking forward into a beautiful weekend. Here it comes. See it on the horizon. We're almost there. This is going to set you up for it well. Hands to the ribs. You can push back into child's pose. If you're dying for a downward dog, this is a great time. Or a forward fold, also a great time. I'm going to give you a moment while I adjust the camera. And we'll meet it standing. And here we are just about halfway through. So see if you feel any different in terms of balance, mentally, physically, emotionally. I feel the weight of my body more on the floor now. Then we're going to come into crescent lunge. One foot in front of the other. About arm's distance. Press your whole front foot into the floor and then lift your back heel up, but press the ball into the ground. And then you're going to bend the front knee and lengthen the back knee. Then rethink about whatever you were balancing on your sacrum in Firebird, and then just create a magical world where something can balance on the vertical plane in that way, and see if you can balance the sacrum and the hips there. Then we're going to open up all those spaces around the heart, again balancing, opening the back, opening the front, opening the side body. You can use an arm if your balance allows. Side body. And then balancing all four of those places, front, back, side, side, lengthening and widening the top, lengthening and widening the sit bones while keeping the hips square. And then reaching the hands up. Crescent. Reach up, 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 and then rest down, down, down. You're just going to come into a little goddess pose and find the earth again. Step your feet in and feel any distance between one side and the other. Feel very open on the left side and would like to feel that on the right side. So now, left foot forward, right foot back. For me, you might be on the opposite side. Pressing the left foot into the ground, pressing the ball of the right foot into the floor, lifting the heel but still energizing that back leg, and then bending the front knee. And finding the hips to be square. Ideally, 90 degrees, but not if it compromises the hips in any way. And then opening the front of the heart, the back of the heart, the side, and then the top and the bottom. So you've got this big protective spacious box for the heart and the lungs, and then reach up, crescent. Reach way up and then relax down. Exhale. We're going to go from side to side, finding a little bit of intuitive movement. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to root down. Find the earth. Find the depth and the heaviness. And then find the lightness. And then the heaviness. And if you want to turn this into a different dance, you go right ahead. I have this little thing on my toe that makes it so that I kind of have to step more. You might be able to pivot, twist, take care of your body, but also follow your body. One more. If you need a break, take the break at standing, feeling the difference between how you were before doing the lunges and how you are after. We're going to meet in a grounding position for your balance, either Malasana squat, widening the sits bones. This might be too far for you, so this is okay. Building strength in the glutes. Or if you'd like a little more challenge, placing your hands on the floor, widening the collarbones, and then playing for recess with balancing on your hands. Stay wherever you are, paying attention to your heart space for 3, for 2, for 1, and then rest down onto those sits bones that you opened and widened. All right, before we meditate, let's just unwind all of that movement, all of that rushing breath and blood by coming back into this side-to-side organic movement and letting it gradually slow down until you're seated. It's like saying, this sit bone, there's the earth. This sit bone, there's the earth. And ground down, feel it underneath you, kind of catching you and all of your work from this week and saying, let me hold you for a while. And when you're ready to be held by the floor, by gravity, then get seated for some meditation. Spine long but not rigid, soft. Space in the heart and lungs in the front, the back, the side, the top, and the bottom. Your hands can be wherever is most comfortable for now. Maybe energizing, grounding, focusing. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Softening your gaze works just as well. And then turn your attention to a space directly behind your eyes for 5 breaths, allowing a little bit of extra lengthening of the outgoing breath in order to balance your polyvagal system. After 5 breaths, keep your attention there behind your eyes. But start to see, if you can see, light there. Really allow yourself to turn inward. Then let your attention drop down deeper inside to the space in the center of the space you created in your movement, right where your heart center is. And notice that that is the source of the light that was behind your eyes. And stay there for 10 breaths. Anytime your mind drifts away, just go through the same process. Attention behind your eyes, light behind your eyes, source of light at the heart. Now picture someone who in space seems to be in front of you. They may be in a building over, a neighbor. You might just be picturing someone across the world, but they're out in front of you and you can see light at their heart space. Spend 3 breaths just seeing the connection between your light source in your heart and theirs. Then, without necessarily taking your attention away from them, picture now someone who is behind you in space, supporting you, cheering you on. They may be close, they may be far. They've got your back. Picture the light at their heart space and connect yours to theirs for the next 3 breaths. Then picture someone to the left of you, a neighbor, a friend, a stranger, and spend 3 breaths connecting the light at their heart space with yours. And then someone to the right of you. Feel yourself balanced on all sides, supported on all sides. And feel a sense of space for breath in every direction. One deep inhale if you'd like to take your arms out and up, gathering all of this energy, love, abundance, balance. And then an outgoing breath to draw it down to your heart. Thank you for taking some time for yourself to find some balance, some recess from all the work of this week. If this was helpful to you, press share, send it to someone else who could use it, and plan to join us next Friday for another theme. And if you have a request for a pose or a breath or a meditation or a theme, put it in the comments and I'll put it on the list. Cheers.